I'll never forget the morning I realized something was wrong. Me boots crunching through the vineyard, the sun already beating down on my neck, and the air so still it felt like the earth was holding its breath. The rows of grapevines stretched out in front of me, leaves catching the light, clusters of fruit just starting to ripen. But something was off. The irrigation system, that soft hum I'd grown to love like a heartbeat in the soil, was dead quiet. I knelt down, pushed aside the mulch, and touched the dirt dry as a bone, like I was standing in the middle of a desert, not my own land in Willow Creek, Northern California. I checked the drip lines, the pump station, the valve junction, nothing. And there it was, a shiny new padlock on the water line, glinting like it was mocking me, with a letter taped to a post nearby, all crisp and official with the Pine Hollow HOA logo. As of September 1st, irrigation services to Lot 22 are suspended due to noncompliance with community standards. Noncompliance? My stomach twisted. No call, no email, no warning, just a lock and a piece of paper telling me my life's work was on the chopping block. I called the HOA office, my hands shaking as I punched in the number. Voicemail. Again and again. This wasn't just a mix-up. I'd spent 10 years turning this 5-acre patch into something real, something mine, and LESMY late wife, who dreamed up this vineyard with me when we were young and broke and thought we could make anything grow. We'd planted every vine by hand, laid every pipe, built every trellis through sweat and sunburns. After she passed, this place became my anchor, my way of keeping her close. I played by every HOA rule, painted my shed their approved shade of sage green, trimmed my hedges to the exact inch they demanded, even paid a $400 fine for a too rustic mailbox during that first year. But this, cutting off my water without a word, this wasn't a rule. This was war. By day 2, the vines were already wilting, the leaves curling at the edges like they were begging for mercy. I drove to the HOA office, a sterile little box next to a coffee shop in town. The clerk, Marcy, barely looked up from her computer. "Hi, I'm Jake Thornton, Lot 22. Someone locked my irrigation line, and I need answers." She tapped her keyboard, glanced at her screen, and said, "Board's orders." President Langley signed it. Water usage violation. I leaned in, keeping my voice steady. Violation of what? I haven't changed a thing in years. She shrugged, like she was bored of me already. "You'll need to file a grievance. Next board meeting's in 3 weeks. 3 weeks? My vines wouldn't last 3 days. I went home and dug through every HOA document I could find, bylaws, emails, old fines. The only thing close to relevant was a vague clause about water restrictions during drought season, but it applied to lawns, not farms. I sent emails, left voicemails for Richard Langley, the HOA president, nothing. Meanwhile, my grapes were turning to dust. I was losing $60,000 worth of Chardonnay contracted to Silver Oak Cellars. And every day I walked those rows, I could feel Ellie's dream slipping through my fingers. Then on day 5, I got a hint of what was really going on. My neighbor, Miguel, who grows strawberries a mile down the road, stopped by with a grim look. "Heard some talk at the last HOA meeting, Jake. They're saying your vineyard's pulling too much water, messing up their fancy flower beds in the new subdivision." I shook my head. "I'm on a timer 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. Low flow, same as always." He sighed. "Yeah, well, Langley's been gunning for you. Word is, your place doesn't fit their vision anymore." That word vision hit me like a brick. 2 years ago, a developer named Klein from Crestview Partners offered me a fat check to sell my land for luxury condos. I told him no. My vineyard wasn't just dirt. It was Ellie's laugh, our late-night talks, our life. Now it clicked. This wasn't about water. It was about pushing me out. I started documenting everything, every shriveled grape, every yellowed leaf, every unanswered email. I wasn't just angry. I was a Marine, 2 tours in Iraq, 1 in Afghanistan. I'd faced worse than bureaucrats in khakis. I called a buddy, Sarah, at the county water board. She dug around and called back an hour later. Jake, this is shady. Someone filed an anonymous complaint saying you were tapping into emergency reserves. It's bogus, your lines not even connected to that system. Guess who pushed it through? Langley. That's when I knew. Richard Langley, with his pressed suits and fake smile, wasn't just enforcing rules. He was playing dirty, trying to choke me out. I could have given up, sold the land, walked away. But that's not who I am. I emailed Silver Oak's head of partnerships, Laura Bennett, and laid it all out: the cutoff, the lies, the dying vines. I didn't expect much. Big companies move slow. But by 7 a.m. the next day, Laura replied, Jake, this is serious. Send us everything you've got. Our legal team's on it. By noon, I was on a call with their lawyer, a guy named Tom Nguyen, who didn't mess around. When did the water stop? What did the HOA say? Got photos. I had it Altum stamped, organized, ready. Good, he said. This isn't just your fight anymore. They messed with our contract, and that's a mistake. The HOA didn't back down, they doubled down. A week later, I got a letter, $2,500 in fines for landscape degradation and unauthorized irrigation modifications. Then a lien notice hit my bank, threatening my credit line. I called Laura, my voice shaking. They're trying to bury me. She didn't flinch. Let them try. We're filing for tortious interference and sabotage. And Jake, don't talk to them. We got this. Silver Oak's legal team sent a cease and desist, naming Langley and the board. The game was on. Things got ugly fast. Code enforcement showed up, nitpicking my fence height, my shed's paint, even my gravel driveway. One guy had the nerve to say my barn door was non-compliant with some new fire code. I recorded every visit, every smug clipboard scribble. Then I took it public. I sent my story to the local paper, every photo, every email, every lie. They ran it. Veteran farmer says HOA sabotaged Vineyard for development deal. The town exploded. Neighbors I hadn't talked to in years reached out. A dairy farmer from the next county called, saying his HOA tried the same thing. Suddenly, I wasn't alone. The HOA fought back, accusing me of defamation and slapping on more fines. But Silver Oak wasn't playing. They filed a lawsuit, breach of contract, economic sabotage, civil harassment, the works. The real bombshell came when a board member, Karen Tate, quit. She sent me a letter. Jake, I'm sorry. I didn't know how far Langley was taking this. I've got emails proving he targeted you to clear the way for Crestview. Those emails were Gold Langley bragging about breaking me, joking about my little grape patch not fitting his upscale community. When the local news aired them, it was over. Langley resigned in the middle of the night. No explanation, just gone. The court hearing was electric. I wore my dress blues, not to show off, but because this was my stand. The judge, an old friend of Ellie's dad, didn't smile, but I saw the fire in his eyes when I handed him my report. $90,000 in losses, 3 seasons of soil damage, a decade of my life. Silver Oak's team laid out the case like a battle plan. The HOA's lawyers squirmed. By the end, the judge ordered the water restored, the lien removed, and a 6-figure settlement for damages. The crowd, farmers, neighbors, reporters cheered. But the real victory wasn't the money. It was the land coming back to life. Neighbors showed up to help replant Miguel with his compost, a high school AG class rerouting pipes. Even Karen, who apologized with tears in her eyes. Silver Oak extended my contract, donated new vines. We named the first batch Laura's Fight Bold Dry with a kick. The HOA, rebuilt from scratch, transparent, fair, run by people who actually live here. We started a harvest festival, nothing big, just music, food, and kids running wild. It felt like home again. Standing in my vineyard now, watching the drip lines hum under a wide blue sky, I think of Ellie. I think of the nights we'd sit out here, her teasing me about my crooked trellises, promising we'd make something beautiful. We did, and when Langley tried to take it, he didn't just underestimate, Mayhay underestimated us. The people who show up, who dig in, who fight for what's right. But here's the thing, sometimes the system's built to grind you down, to make you feel small alone. So I ask you, what's your fight? Have you ever faced a bully with a rulebook? Drop it in the comments. Share your story, because the more we talk, the less they win. Let's keep this ground alive together.